The world you thought you knew is cracking right now, and it's shaking the very foundations of everything you've built, everything you've invested in, everything you've dreamed about. The calm waters of the past are gone, replaced by storms so fierce you might feel they're trying to swallow you whole. Borders are blurring, markets are shifting overnight, and what seemed like steady ground turns out to be quicksand beneath your feet. It feels like the old rules, the old maps, the old ways of thinking no longer apply. And that uncertainty, it's terrifying. You lie awake wondering, am I falling behind? Is the global story we bought into breaking apart? Should I rethink everything I thought I knew about investing, about growth, about risk? The truth is, yes, you do need to rethink. But not because globalization is failing, not because the world is too connected to survive. Number the panic sets in because the system you trusted was never built for people like you, the founders, the investors, the leaders who see beyond the noise. You are standing at the edge of a seismic shift, one that demands everything you thought you knew be questioned, unlearned, and rebuilt on fire, not fear. Globalization isn't some big scary monster tearing down your comfort. It's the clearest sign yet that the old world, the one built on narrow borders, outdated assumptions, and slow moving settlements, has died. What you're facing is not a crisis, it's a call to awaken and reimagine your place in a world that no longer plays by yesterday's rules. See, when markets crash or politics twist, the surface ripples catch all the attention, but beneath, a radical truth pulses. The power now lives with those who reject the illusion of certainty and embrace the chaos as the birthplace of possibility. The rare, the bold, the relentless winners don't just survive this chaos, they forge the winners of tomorrow. This flooding tide of globalization is breaking down old monopolies on information, capital, and influence. It's giving those sharp enough, brave enough, those who dare to see the world as one interconnected ecosystem, not a battleground between countries, their real advantage. What used to be fragmented is now whole. What was once distant is now instant. The factories of opportunity have moved from single nations to networks crisscrossing continents, carried in emails, data streams, and new partnerships that defy geography. The pain you feel? The disorientation, the constant tensions, the fear of being caught on the wrong side of history. It's the death throes of an outdated mindset, and it must hurt before it heals. Because what you're really being asked to do is something brutal. Tear down your old mental map. Forget the game your competitors are still playing. This is not about beating others at their own game. It is about inventing a totally new game whose rules don't yet even exist. The old guard clings to their narrow versions of nationalism, of ownership, of risk. They see others' success as a loss. But you have the chance to rewire that thinking. See the bigger, rawer picture where your growth hinges not on isolation, but on radical connection. Investors, founders, leaders like you, here is the unspoken truth. The fragmented world has made you lonely, misunderstood, fragmented. Globalization isn't just an economic term. It's the heartbeat of a movement that demands a new kind of synergy. The great power lies between the nodes, in the connections you haven't yet made. In that alignment with the few others who don't just want to ride the wave but want to build the wave. The question isn't whether globalization has changed everything. It's, are you ready to change with it or be swallowed by it? Are you ready to stop playing safe and start playing sovereign? Every disrupted supply chain, every shifting tariff law, every unpredictable market swing, it's a signpost pointing to where your next opportunity lives. The chance isn't just to invest money, it's to invest in rare, fierce collaboration. To forge links that multiply value instead of divide it. To be the radical spark in a world desperate for new fire. Forget what you've been sold about comfort. Comfort is a cage dressed as freedom. It wants you small, obedient, and predictable. The real freedom, the freedom that makes you unstoppable, is messy, demanding, and lonely at times. It asks you to be ruthless in your own independence, to craft your will into your sharpest weapon, to question everything, Don't just adapt to this new global reality, transform it. The next wave of success won't be handed to those who cling to old borders or old thinking. It will be seized by those who reject belonging to systems designed to slow them down and instead create new tribal alliances built on shared vision and fiery ambition. Investors who see globalization as a threat are missing the signal in the noise. The global market isn't a spaghetti bowl of risk. It's a vast network of immense cross-pollinating power. Deep inside that network are partnerships, ideas, and movements waiting for the rare few who remember how to connect on a level beyond shallow transactions. This is not the time to scatter investments thin or play it safe. It's the time to go deep, with a few powerful, fiercely complementary allies who burn as fiercely as you do. The future of globalization is not about dominating markets. It is about liberating the individual. You are not just a player on the global stage. You are a sovereign force, a node of transformation and creation. Every great founder, every visionary investor knows that to remake the future, you have to first unmake outdated beliefs. You have to embrace patience like a long game master, relentless as a flame that never dies out. The world won't reward the fast thinker alone, but the persistent builder, those who see beyond quarterly gains into generational transformation. Don't be fooled by the lure of quick wins or formulaic strategies. The system wants you to play it safe, to settle for mediocrity, to confine your vision within borders drawn by others. Reject that. Be selective about who you align with. Only the few who share your hunger for transformation. Those are the connections that birth unstoppable synergy. Globalization dismantles borders, but it also exposes your isolation. The world as it is today can feel like a lonely place if you're exceptional. If you are unbound by old labels, if you burn with questions no one around you dares to ask, if you fight the quiet desperation of living a life borrowed from someone else's script. That's exactly why you need new structures. The ecosystems where your rare brilliance isn't just accepted but amplified. Humanity's greatest power doesn't live in systems or flags or rules. It lives in liberated individuals connected deeply across difference and distance. If you seek true power, true growth, true meaning, it's time to reject the illusion that you must do it alone. Find your network of firebrands, those who understand freedom is not about comfort, but about sovereignty. Not simplicity, but complexity mastered. Not sameness, but radical diversity unified toward a fierce mission. Right now, laser in on this. Your future is not held hostage by what's breaking down. It is born in what you build when that old structure falls away. Globalization is not the end, it's the crucible. The old world is in ashes, so the rare, the exceptional, the unbound can rise. Your pain, your uncertainty, your sleepless nights, they are the ignition of something new. Are you ready to claim that power? Are you ready to shed the false safety nets and wield your will like a weapon? This isn't about joining a bandwagon. It's about starting a revolution. The few who dare to see the world not as divided by flags but aligned by vision will rewrite everything. Markets, systems, investments, leadership. Because the future isn't a place. It is an act. It is the daily choice to be more, to burn brighter, to refuse to be contained. The real question isn't if globalization is making investors rethink everything. It's, do you have the courage to be among those few rewriting the future? To use globalization not as a threat, but as the fuel for unleashing your full power as a founder, investor, leader. Because make no mistake, the world isn't broken. It is waiting. Waiting for the rare to find each other. Waiting for the misaligned to become aligned. Waiting for the misunderstood to connect, collaborate, and create. The pain you feel is a signal flare, a call to action, not comfort. The market turbulence, the political tremors, the cultural shifts, they're the forge of tomorrow's legends. Get ready to stop reacting and start creating. To stop following and start leading. To stop surviving and start thriving. Don't just rethink everything, ignite everything. Break your chains, build your tribe, burn your old map and paint a new one with fire and courage. This is your moment. The moment when you rise from noise to essence, from isolation to unstoppable unity. The moment when the rare become the rulers, not of countries, but of the future. The moment when your power as an individual, as a force of transformation, blazes across the world without boundaries. Grab that future, own it, because no one else will. This is the real power of globalization, forged in the hands of those who dare to burn.